course, somewhere in Europe, people take the decision that you have to comply with ESG ruling at certain point. In the beginning, I guess you're kind of, do we need to? But or is this something that is driven by your own organization?
Yeah, I think it's what I always I always say is that for a long-term strategy for your company, you can say it's a word ESG, but it says it's more better to talk about sustainability or being there for the longer term. If you want to, you have to embrace it instead of pushing it away, because it gives you a reason for existence in the future, for a reason for existence for the world in the future, to make it a more philosophical question. So it is essential, I think, to have a clear view on how your organization contributes to the different elements of ESG, and not saying it is something you have to, or of course it is in the future, it is something you have to do, but you have to embrace this, like to be a part of every decision process you make in your organization. And we as RCE are still in the starting phase, so it's still really basic, but I see the potential, what it has for our organization and also for the future, and I think also for a lot of company, because it helps you also in decision processes, and it also from a financial point of view, it's also an interesting process to take to, because it can also help you getting things more clear and to make the right choices also from a practical and financial point of view. And I think a lot of people see it is difficult, or it is difficult to understand. But I would say let's start with our simple approach, like being really practical, making a gap analysis, seeing what the low fruit is you can easily, and start with it, because it brings your value, and that would be my advice.
Yeah, and I hear you say that you're combining, let's say, the philosophical point of view, who do we need to be in the future, with the practicalities of how we can gain from this. So I hear you say low-hanging fruit. So can you tell us a little bit about the low-hanging fruit that you changed, let's say, to make a gain?
When we started to look at scope 3 and where we could make a difference, we of course saw that we are buying and selling a lot of meat, and meat has an impact on CO2 emissions. So this is an area that we have to touch also in our plans. And it's difficult actually, because we are famous for selling meat. So it's the core of your business. So you have to be very careful how to address this topic. And we are in the middle of that. So we don't have the ideal solution, but this is where this area really needs some attention, also when you reduce scope 3. We have been successful last year by introducing a plant-based steak as well in our restaurants. So we do see there are alternative solutions to meat and fish, by looking at a more wide offer in your product range on the menu, selling more plant-based products. And of course, being a restaurant chain, food waste is a topic that we really have to look into. Not only because it reduces CO2 emissions, but also it's a moral duty almost, being a big HoReCa chain, to look after food waste. And of course, adding on to this sustainability and more sustainable products are very relevant to include as well.